from the 9 core members of the game studio that brought you a whole bunch of games to know ahead of. Mostly because they were non-existent, Southpaw Games comes their very latest, very first game they've been working on tirelessly since they probably met in college sometime 3 COVID years ago. Skul, the Hero Slayer. Skul, the Hero Slayer is a fast-paced action roguelite 2D side-scrolling adventure game. Wow, that's a lot. The game joins the ranks of the League of Metroidvania games available on Nintendo Switch and on all other platforms. Despite having the same genre in common, the presentation and mechanics as well as the gimmicks of every game in the Metroidvania genre differentiates from each other to great effect. Skul, the Hero Slayer is a story about a skeleton who goes on a quest to save his kin from captivity, but in his path lies the Harlean Empire and a famed group of adventurers who would like nothing more than to wipe out Skul and his demon brethren once and for all. Hi, this is Daniel from GGN, and this is a review for Skul, the Hero Slayer. Let's start with the good stuff. The gimmick of having to swap skulls in the game is a really cool and fun thing to play around with. Swapping skulls totally changes the skills, attributes, attack combos, and the abilities of the character. Changing skulls change the way the character fights, and in turn changes how you approach and play the game. This is a very interesting prospect in the game, and I'm really looking forward to finding more skulls as I continue playing because there are loads and loads of them. The controls are pretty good and responsive. I don't see any particular slowdowns when it comes to movement and actions of the characters. Any movements that may be slow are normally indicated in the descriptions for a particular character. A Skul may be purposefully slow when it comes to attacks, so you might want to check that out before you lose your marbles. Seriously. But overall, the controls are really good. I really love how creative developers continue to be in the use of the pixel art style for games and the ability to do way more in terms of details that was not possible back in the day with back in the day technology. You probably wouldn't appreciate it as much or see much of a difference, or maybe even see a reason for it in the world of groundbreaking graphical masterpieces, if that's not your preference or you are new to gaming. But veteran gamers from the Super Metroid and the old Super Mario games such as myself see and appreciate its modern portrayal and beauty, and we are happy. I hope. The stages in the game are well thought out. The backgrounds and foregrounds look great and have very good detail to them, showing how well they are done. In terms of music, though repetitive, the music is really good. It's rich and full and takes you where the game wants you to be, especially when you're playing with decent headphones or some good audio output. Like most, I really do like and appreciate the little details within the game, like the little movement the character makes when you leave it idle for a bit, as seen in some adventure games like Sonic and a few others. Okay, now let's get to the bits we dread. The bats of the matter, the dreadful bats, I think you know what I mean, the not so good stuff. At the very beginning of this game, the equipment page is hard to get, and there are no explanations as to what is what's in there. All there are labeled slots, and I was lost as to what to do with them. It was until deep in the game, when a lot of gathering has been done, that things started to fall into place. That's when you figure out what to do with the flowers, the contestants, and whatever is in there. In most Metroidvania games, you are handheld in the beginning, so you understand the mechanics of the game before you get abandoned in the middle of the desert to fend for yourself when you get too cocky with the level 1 enemies, figuratively or maybe perhaps literally. But that is certainly not the case here, and I'm not entirely sure if that's what the developers were going for, or if it's one of those things that is going to be fleshed out later in the game. This next one's a bit of a dilemma for me. I can't figure out if it's just fine or I totally dislike it. The game tends to have a lot of enemies on screen at the same time, who tend to pop out of nowhere. Seeing enemies while I move and planning how to get rid of them is my ideal way of playing, so you can understand how new enemies popping out of nowhere after I've just cleared a whole bunch of them can be way too much of a surprise for me. Clearing them can be fun, and it is fun, and you get a strong sense of accomplishment from it, but getting beat by never-ending enemies just leaves you as frustrated as a FIFA player conceding a goal through a glitch.
What a fucking joke. They've not got rid of the front post glitch, have they? What a bunch of twats. Canadian coding C.
Also, this may be an apt pick on my part, but the skeletal scarecrows that come out after you've cleared certain levels seem unnecessary to me. Taking whacks at them yield nothing, and I don't know whether they are supposed to drop something or they're just there to signify the level has been cleared. And that's about it. Overall, the game has lots of potential to be even better. It has a lot going for it and a lot that can go for it as long as the right things are done. It has great controls, decent music, good visuals, and an amazing variety of characters. And it's a few bony updates away from being a fully fledged juggernaut that can stand on its own among the greats. So, that's it for our review of Skul the Hero Slayer. Do you plan to play this game or have you played this game? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. And of course, leave a like if you do like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. This has been Daniel from GGN, and I'm out.